at what point are you open to having a conversation with a developer who's working on something? Now,
Yep.
I'm assuming I've got an idea is way too early, unless that person's had 10 successful games and track record.
Mhm.
And I'm guessing, oh, my game launched 7 years ago and it's kind of dead in the water. Might be a little bit after the event. At what point are you saying, here's the sweet spot where we'd love to talk to you just here? Oh,
Yeah,
did I
and by the way, I
quiet?
glanced over at the chat and noticed there's a question about the Christmas tree. It's like the first thing I've looked over at the chat and noticed. So I will explain. I've been very neglectful in taking on the Christmas tree. So my wife moved it into my office, figuring that I would definitely take it down if it were there in view of my, the voice calls I did. This is my home office right here where I am. That hasn't happened yet. I hope it will happen soon. And apologies if I'm ignoring any questions in the chat. I'm actually not good at multitasking and looking at it. That's the only one I've seen so far.
It's okay. I had some people saying my microphone is quiet. Just let me know. I've tweaked it. Let me know if it's okay. Is it okay for you guys?
Sounds good now.
All right, cool. Sorry. Yep. Yeah. So Tim, where's the sweet spot for people to say, knock, 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 Tim, I've got this thing I'm working on?
Yeah, so we've had, with Terra Invicta, which was the first game we announced, it did not have a Steam page before we got on board. In fact, it was quite a bit after we started publishing. I'd have to look up the exact dates, but I think it was many months, could have been almost a year, that we actually put the Steam page up. Yeah, I think it was actually almost a year. And we noticed them because I was a fan of their prior work. They were modders. They created a mod called The Long War for XCOM. And I played that mod and liked it. And I was on their newsletter. And so I got news of Terra Invicta when it was early on and contacted them and basically said, let's get involved. So that one we were, basically it was a year before it was there. There was a game for them to show me in Unity. It wasn't particularly playable. It was a long way from being, ready at that time. It was still a year before we went from that to their Kickstarter and the launch of the Steam page. We basically signed them about a year before. So it was, it was an early state, but they could show me around in Unity and they could say, hey, look at this, here's what we plan to do. And it's more than just someone's idea, as you said. They're actually working on that thing. So I think that's what is the stage for us, which is someone can actually show us around something and talk to us about it. And they're already sort of working on it well on their way. And we're good at telling the difference. Like, we're good at knowing what's the roughness of a game in development and what's the and what means there's actually some complexity and some thought and interesting things going on with it. So that all having been said, let me take a step back from us, because again, I think that our approach. I mean, let me put it this way: of the 10 games we've currently signed, not a single one ever showed us a pitch deck. So that is not going to be typical for most publishers. Most publishers, you do the whole song and dance. Here's my pitch deck. It's like you're going to some VCs or something, and all that. None of them actually showed us a pitch deck of the ones we signed. There's someone showed us pitch deck that we didn't sign. Not that we have anything against pitch decks, just worked out. My point is that I think my approach in some ways, I'm very comfortable just sitting them and having them showing Unity scenes and chat about it. So going to how to get, and again, presuming that you don't have prior successful games. If prior successful games, you don't need my advice on any of this anyway. So
do you think that's really good enough to get in the door most places, having a
there's a lot of money floating around the game industry right now, especially in recent years. And that money is looking for things that money can understand. So what that money can understand is past success. Basically what you have to understand is that most people with money to throw around, whether in publishers or any of this sort of alternative investment house or whatever's going on right now, they actually don't, I'm going to be mean here, but I don't think they understand the vast majority of games they consider. What they're looking for is something that makes sense to them in their own ways of looking at it. What makes sense to them often is some numbers they can point to. And if that's current numbers,
before you can do it again kind of deal.